So it's very common to have situations in in-home sales where you're missing a third party. Now, I always separate this between two different types. So there's the one leg. So that would be where one of the most important people, the decision makers, is just not there. And then the other one would be a soft one leg or a missing third party. So that's when maybe they said earlier on that they don't need anybody else, even though you brought it up multiple times. And maybe that third party isn't necessarily going to be the one who's making the decision, but they might be leaning on that person to basically say they can't make a decision that day. So for the true one legs, a lot of companies will reset that. They won't even run the appointment. Depends on the company. Personally, I like to run it anyway, just because I'm already there. The likelihood that if you sell it and they're not there, it's a true one leg, is pretty low for them to ever buy. Main reason is they try to pitch it to the missing party. Missing party doesn't really understand because I've spent 2 hours explaining what it is we do, what we offer, the different options. And that third party just is not going to be able to hear, or the other one leg is not going to be able to hear in enough depth, right? So they just see a price and then they just say, nah. Now, the reason I still pitch is because I already drove out there, and there's always an off chance that maybe they'll want me to come back out. Usually I try to set it up to being like, hey, now I know this is what we built up, but if you have any questions, the other person has any questions, just give me a call and maybe we can figure something out in the future. Or we could just try to move forward while we're there and then hope it just doesn't end up getting canceled out by that missing member. Now the soft one, this one is also important. So a soft one or a missing third party rather than one leg, like a missing decision maker. This is usually for someone that maybe is going to be like 5%, right? Or even less. They just want to ask the person just to get someone else to say something about the project, right? Usually it's like a family member of some sort, or it's a friend who's in the industry, right? So for those people, there's a couple things you can do. Number one, you can try and define like who that person is and why they value their opinion. And then once you hear that from them, you can see whether it's a valid point or not, and then point that out to them. Not saying that this will work, but basically you can say, okay, so your brother, you sometimes run projects by him just to see what his thoughts are. Is your brother a plumber? No. Or is your brother, does he build decks himself if it's a deck project? No. Okay. So, has he done a lot of these projects before on his own house? No. Okay. So I guess for your brother being involved, if he's not a pro at either of those things, what information are you hoping to get from him that I'm not able to provide you today, or you don't know yourself today? This question will often make them think about what it is they need to talk to the person about. In often cases, it may be, well, I just want to make sure I'm making the right decision. So ultimately, and then you can say, so ultimately, you are going to make the decision no matter what your brother says. Yes. Okay. How about this? Let's just go over everything we went through and make sure we're picking out exactly what you want. Because in order to make sure you're making the right decision, we got to make sure we're offering what is checking all your boxes on what you'd like. And then you can go over everything you went through, talk to them, and then at any point, if they feel hesitant about something, dive into that, because that may be what's holding them back, what's making them feel uncomfortable. A lot of time it'll just come down to price, and then maybe there'll be a way to figure it out if there's a payment plan, or maybe you can get another discount or something. But that's a way to sort of get over the fact that they're trying to blame it on a third party. So I know I talked about two different topics here. This is a pretty long video, so I might split it up for different platforms. But if you have any questions about in-home sales, if you need any help, or just have a topic you want to talk about, leave a comment below. We'd love to chat with you or make a video responding to it. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.